Hello, once again, you know who it is, Burn. Thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. The purpose of this video is to go over what life has been like the past 4 months with FaZe. I purchased FaZe in April, and I made a YouTube unboxing video about that. Check that out at the link above or the link in the description. And over the past 4 months, I learned a lot about using FaZe. It does have its pros and cons, and that's what we're going to go over in this video. For those of you that don't know, just a quick description. FaZe is a wireless DVS system. So you know, with Serato or other timecode based DJ systems, there's a timecode signal that's sent to the mixer, that's sent to the computer in order to track the song. With FaZe, it wirelessly sends that signal to the mixer, so you don't need needles or timecode vinyl anymore. And this has been very useful over the past 4 months. I've done outdoor gigs where there's been a lot of dust on the timecode vinyl. With FaZe, you don't have to worry about that. If I was using needles, the needles would have picked up a lot of dirt. There have been times where it's been hot and I'll lean over the turntables and I'll start sweating on the decks. And so, you know, water would obviously interfere with the needles, but with FaZe, you don't have to worry about that. You also don't have to worry about people bumping into the table. But with all the pros, there are a few cons that I want to warn you about. The first one is there's an inaccurate signal going from FaZe to the mixer. As you can see here in the example, both turntables are on 0% as far as pitch adjustment, but in Serato is tracking as 0.5% positive on the left side and negative 0.4% on the right side. So it's not 100% accurate. However, I mean, all you need to do is adjust your pitch adjustment to match up one side with the other, and you can still blend perfectly. So not too much of a big deal. One other thing I want to show you that I didn't know originally in the first video is that these dots on the FaZe receiver show you how much battery you have with each controller. There's 5 dots, and 5 of them can light up if it's fully charged, and then 4, 3, 2, and 1 when the battery starts draining. Definitely didn't know that, and during one of my gigs, one of the FaZe controllers, actually the battery died. So what I had to do is, because this mixer has phono and line inputs, and the turntables were plugged into the phono inputs, it was very easy to just put my needles back on and use a timecode vinyl and switch over. All you have to do is switch actually you don't have to switch anything on the turntables. You just go into Serato and change over from CDJ to turntable mode. But yeah, so if you plug up your FaZe receiver to your computer, you can adjust the wireless signal, and some people have found success with fixing this lack of tracking. But as you can see on mine, if I change it to custom and then change the signal up or down, it changes both of them equally. So I might can zero out one side, but the other side will be negative or plus 1.0%. So it's supposed to be a firmware update coming soon to address this issue and many other issues, so I'm not worried about it for now. One other thing to note, some people have battery swelling issues, but the key to remember is never plug your FaZe receiver into the computer to charge the remotes. You should only plug it in when you're trying to make adjustments to the receiver itself. As far as charging, use a USB brick like this one that came from my iPhone and plug in your FaZe receiver to a power outlet. Laptops don't give off consistent enough voltage, and that can cause irregular charging with the remotes, and then it'll cause battery swelling into the receivers themselves. So don't do that. Another issue that I've found is something called sticker drift or cue drift. This is something that you might not come across as frequently, just because a lot of people don't do beat juggling when they're DJing in the club. But basically, to describe it, is your cue starts off at one point of the record. So let's say you cue it up you set your first cue at 12 o'clock on the record, and then once you rewind it and play it so many times, the cue point drifts, so it's not exactly 12 o'clock anymore. It'll be maybe at 12:30 or 1 o'clock, as shown in this example. This is, like I said, not really a big deal. You can always just reset your cue point, or it should be addressed in the firmware update as well. So, like I said, not a big deal, nothing to worry about. Overall, these are really the only problems I've had so far. The inaccurate pitch at 0% and the sticker / Q drift. With the price of these and with Shure not making needles anymore, this is definitely a good way to go. Some people have had other little problems as far as being able to sync their remotes or not keeping them charged, but it's really just about trial and error. Some people have had major problems to where the USB port stopped working. I can't say I've had any of these problems, so I would definitely recommend this to any DJ that uses turntables for their gigs and that doesn't want to buy needles anymore. This is a great solution, and there should be a firmware update coming out next month or October. That's all for now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. If you have any questions about Phase, definitely leave them in the comments below. If you personally use Phase, tell me what you think about it in the comments. You think it's good? You think it's bad? Do you regret the purchase? Are you thinking about getting some and you don't know what you're going to do? Let me know. Alright, once again, Burn out.